And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Satisfactory. Alright, I have disabled the last two over here, and I've disabled the last two crafters over here, because, you know, we can't push enough ingots through to satisfy all that demand. But I would like to start making these components again, even though we're not really doing anything with them at the moment. I would like to start that process. So as you can see, we are pushing 120. I think that's what these are. Yeah, 120 resources a minute. So we're doing things pretty fast. You know, we're not storing them anywhere yet. We're not doing anything with them yet, but we will eventually. But it'd be nice to have. Just nice to make sure that we're not going to run out of components, that we've got plates and rods and screws that we can just pop over here and grab. Otherwise, we might have problems. So once they fill up, then it'll be fine. But yeah, it should be. Yeah, this one's not going to produce. These are going to produce slowly. I mean, they're just barely getting enough, because it's exactly 60 going over here, and these need exactly 30, so it's a perfect ratio. The other side, not so much. Well, it should be 15, 30, 60. Yeah, it should be perfect amount. And that kind of fires up our smelters again. Let's see. What are we doing on power? Oh man, only 70, 80 megawatts. I took down all of the other burners that we had there, and I'm just starting to make sense of the chaos that is our base. So if we go up here, you can kind of see them starting to get things laid out. We don't really have a lot of concrete. I would like to find a gloriously pure concrete. I think there's one somewhere in that vicinity, somewhere in that direction. I can't be 100% sure though. But I need to get copper going again. Okay. Oh. Let's get some walking space here. I don't find myself doing too many hokey pokeys around. Okay, so this I think is a normal copper vein. Pretty sure. Yep, normal copper vein. So this thing is going to do 60 per minute as it is, and then the Mark II is going to do 120 a minute. And so I would like to get the miner over here. Can we square you away? Is it possible? Is this going to be possible? Foundations. I don't think this ramp is a little too much. This ramp might not be enough. Let's see if we can't find a happy medium. I just would like to keep this square to the world, or to the grid that I've got established already. See if we can put this right in here. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it's going to snap. It should see the grid. So let's see if that helped at all. It did. And we have a little walkway up here now. Oh, ooh, I almost fell. Let's take that away. Since we have the grid down there now, I don't really anticipate needing to be down there all that much. All right, so with 120 per minute, we would be able to run, I think, 4 smelters off this beast. First of all, let's do the splitter. So we're going to have that swoop up in here. And you're going to be split right there with a smelter. Like, I'm not sure how far away to make you. Oh, that looks decent. So if we look at copper, it's 30 a minute. So with that, 60, it's 2 smelters. But we're going to eventually want to have 4 up here. So should we just plan on having 4 of them up here? So 2, 3, 4. And then let's go to logistics splitter. I do like the guidelines. Very, very nice quality of life feature right there. Okay, so we need, the input is going to be into there. So we want that to be the Mark II. And we want Mark IIs on each one of these. But then we only need Mark I's. And I'm going to try to save resources by doing some Mark I's here. I don't need... Okay, so that is all of the smelters. That's all the smelters that thing will be able to support. And we're going to take away... Well, we're going to... Oh, no. We're going to... This. I want this. There we go. We're going to take that one away because right now it's only going to be able to be supportive of 2 smelters. Can we get, how many concrete do I have here? We need a little bit more space. Okay, because we need some constructors. So we need copper wire and copper cable, or cable in general. So I'm thinking it's going to be hard. Obviously they all need to be made into copper cable or copper wire. So that's going to be copper. That's going to be copper. You're already copper, and you're going to be copper. So each one of these is 30 a minute of copper. Now, if we look at a constructor, I'm pretty sure these are 15 per minute. So, believe it or not, we're going to be able to make a obscene amount of copper wire from all of these. So I want to plan on having a metric ton of copper. I'm not sure if we'll ever need it. There's probably some future recipes that are going to use a lot of copper. That's my guess. So what I want to do is, let's do a storage over here. So we're going to snuggle that up. All right. So we're going to do a merger. Just like that. Give it a little bit of space. And just in case we want other copper input, let's do a merger here. Because we could run, you know, copper elsewhere. We could run it like underneath and pop it up. I mean, there's a lot of different options. But since these are all only ever going to be 30 a minute, we don't need, you know, a metric ton of movement here. So these two, those can be Mark 1s, and then Mark 2 can start right here. I'm trying to be as graceful as I can with these. So this will store copper ingots. All right, now for power. I'm going to do power here. I've learned not to be shy with spamming power poles. So spam we must. All right. There we go. Now these need to be connected there. And there is a line way down there that I could connect to. That's a little ways away. Where do I want to connect these to? How much concrete do I have? Not too terribly much. I'm gonna grab no, I didn't want to put that underneath. Why would you default to underneath? Trying to find a happy medium on the terrain here. Not easy. Okay, so let's use a power pole like right there. And let's see if we can connect. There it is. So that started, yep, that started this. Just gonna pull this up here and start the smelting process. These guys should all be recipe'd up. Now, the sheer amount of copper wire that we're going to be able to produce in this system, because if we look, let's first do, let's really plan on having a lot of these. I'm not going to be shy about building a factory. Oh my goodness. At least once an episode I have to do that. Which is funny because I don't usually do that when I'm in between episodes. I guess I'm not as much of in a hurry. Okay. So basically, all of the copper needs to get converted into copper wire. Baseline all the copper. So we need some way of doing that. And I think what we're going to do something really tricky here. We are going to use, how many, see, I'm starting to run just a little low on things. So I'm going to do a splitter Actually, let's do a merger. This would be a great spot to merge a lot of things and stuff right there. I want some walkway underneath here for no real reason. I just want to make sure. Yep, that goes down just fine. So let's do a splitter. And the orange has to be in the back for this one. Right? Good to go. And then a constructor. The orange in the back. Why aren't you oh, you are lined up. It's just really hard to see. Something like that. And then wire. So you can see it only needs 15 ingots per minute. Which means with 4 smelters producing 30 a minute, we can have 8 constructors making wire. That's a lot of wire. Oh man, we are almost out of concrete. Which is why I wanted to do it like this. I might need to go pick up some more concrete. So we can have 8 of these beasts. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's way off. Way off. It helps if I can see the corner. So that's 7. 8. Just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bingo. All right. I need more concrete. I can't even do power poles because the concrete I just don't have enough concrete. So these should all be pushing oh, my throat. These should all be pushing copper, right, once again. So let's go check. I rebuilt this concrete, nice and squared away. Everything's hunky-dory. Let's go check the other one. While I'm here, I'm going to grab what I can. I would like to. This one is boosted, so this one is actually producing at exactly the speed that it needs to. And I have enough things, I have enough worms that I could boost the other one too. I should think about doing that. Whee. Okay. This is going to be a little tricky. As soon as I have, you know, enough concrete where I'm able to really push stuff out, Then I'll think about finishing up the flooring and stuff. That's sort of an in-between episodes sort of task. I just want to make sure we have ample amounts of stuff and things ready to go. Okay. So one thing I want to do is, let's do the math. I have 8 wire builders. Let's assume that's a Mark, let's assume it's a Mark II miner. We're all 4 smelters, and these are all going at the same, or all going at max speed. Now, these are all going to be wire, so they produce 45 wire a minute. Each one of these produces 45 wire a minute. So that is, well, that's less than 450 a minute, because 45 a minute, obviously, times 8 is less than 450, because that's times 10. So a Mark IV conveyor belt would be able to move all of these things at speed. It would be able to do that. But I mean, we're a ways from the Mark IVs. We are a ways. So where's my line? Right there. So splitter. That misplace. Oh, I think it lined up. That is a lot. So again, these do not need to be fed super fast. So I'm going to, because you only need 15 bars a minute, there's no point in wasting resources in the conveyor belts going into the machines. Now the ingots going along the outside, those need to be beefed up a little bit. Okay, so this line here to here, these need to be ramped up. And then from here, we really don't need super lots. Okay, so that is wire. An obscene amount of wire, FYI. That's an obscene amount of wire. So all this wire, because it's going to be less than 450, all of this wire can get on one line. So that is mergers. Do we have enough? Let's give ourselves a little bit of breathing room. Like smack right in the middle there. Bingo. Okay. So each one of these is 45 a minute, which, let's face it, we don't need the Mark II belts for. Because even if they were maxed out, so we're going to do that one as the Mark I. All the rest need to be at least Mark IIs, and then upgraded to Mark IIIs and IVs later on. So let's just do all the Mark I's first. That's a lot of wire builders. That's what this is. Okay, so now Mark II's. Let's make sure that's clicked. I'm so glad I made a ton of reinforced plates. Very, very handy. So now, with that, we can do another storage for wire. Let's make sure those are lined up. We don't need too much space here. A little bit of space. Ample amounts of storage for wire. We'll get into cable in a second. I wanna get wire going so we can see this beast in action. Okay. Let's power it up on this side, since power is a little easier to get on this side. Okay, so I'm doing basically one power pole for every machine. I know it's overkill. I mean, I know it's a lot of overkill. I hate running into a power pole and not having enough, you know, wire action for what I need. You know, once I get to Mark IIs, I'll probably be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to power. All right, let's connect you to you. Now, how much power are we using right now? Only 53 megawatts. It's crazy. All right, let's ramp that up a little bit. We got lots and lots and lots. Now, this is all these machines are hooked up, but there's really no loss of efficiency, because once the ingot hits, it's going to make the wire, and it's going to make it anyway. So it's a lot easier to do it this way, and the more machines are going, the better. So this is going to start ramping up power use as more and more and more of those machines go up. You know, the splitters don't really help us very much in the long scheme of things, but well, we're going to be moving 120 wire a minute into here. That's better than nothing. Let's boost that up with the 80 miscellaneous that I had in there. So yeah, this is not too bad. Not every machine is going to be going, which is fine. I don't mind. I just wanted to get wire going again. So now cable, since we have 8 of these running, cable, we don't need as much cable, I don't think. So let's plan on having maybe, let's see, I want to make sure you tree are in the way. So we don't need as much cable. So I'm going to plan on not having as much. Let's get a ramp. Get this nice and squared off here. Just constant cabling, just constant. And once we start speeding that up, you should see how fast those fast conveyors are. They are just epically fast. All right, so one thing we're going to do is we're going to do a splitter right in line with this. Let's get it a little close to this one. And then let's do a constructor. Something like 4 constructors. Let's see what the draw is. I want to get a good idea of what distance. And that's a good distance right there. So let's look at cable. So it's 30 wire a minute, which we have ample amounts of wire. We have ample amounts. So we can support 4 of these constructors, no problem. 2, 3. Let's make sure you're lined up. And 4. So, and then splitters. Let's make sure you're lined up. Well, that's really lined up. I mean, that's lined up all over. I like when a plan comes together. Okay, so you are going to be Mark 2. You are going to be Mark 2. You're going to be Mark 2. Now let's get Mark 1. And then power, and then recipes. Okay, one. I'm going to go on this side, this corner. You go into there, you stretch to there, you go into there, you stretch to there, you go into there, you stretch to there, and you go into there, and now they are ready. They're ready for their close-up. And now we're producing cable. Now this is probably, well, it's not doing too bad. Let's say it's probably emptying out because we're actually pushing a lot more copper down the line. Oh, those look like they're full. So these are now filling up. Once these are filled up, it just sort of keeps it going. And once we start ramping up our conveyor belts, everything will start to tie in very, very nicely. Like all of the smelting will get tied in. Everything will be working really, really well. So far, I'm happy with how we've been doing. Let me know in the comments if you are enjoying the series. Let me know any ideas or suggestions you have otherwise. And yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of a merger line here, just like we did over there, and push the cables into this storage. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.